Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my May 2019 horoscope report for you, where I will give you the need-to-knows for your sign, plus talk about the general transits that no doubt will be affecting you. I'll let you know the places where the stars are in beautiful harmony and the possibilities that are open from those connections, as well as the places where the stars are in conflict and the challenges that could come from those connections. And resources, ideas, tips on how to use that energy and understand the energy to create alchemy in your life and have the most graceful and productive month possible. Definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, where I have lots of resources for you on your journey, including a very extensive astrology blog. You can see my new moon and full moon blogs that can help you make the most of those portals of energy that open every couple of weeks. You can sign up for a live reading at my site, and you can also sign up for my astrology apprenticeship program if you resonate with how I teach astrology and you would love to learn. Check out my new book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, which is an Amazon bestseller. You can see that on Amazon or at radicalprayerbook.com. So let's see what the stars have for you this month. Hello, Taurus friends. I'm so excited to share with you my insights for this month for your sign. There's so many things that are making this month all about Taurus. We have, besides birthdays, we have the new moon in Taurus, we have the sun moving through Taurus, we have at some point, half the month, Mercury will be moving through Taurus, we have for half the month, Venus is moving through Taurus, we have Uranus moving through Taurus, and we have Neptune moving through Pisces, which makes a sweet aspect with Taurus. We have Pluto moving through Capricorn, which makes a sweet aspect with Taurus. And even Mars, for a good bit of the month, is going to be in Cancer, which makes a sweet aspect to Taurus. So I really, really love this month for you. The stars are really on your side. The energies are really flowing towards harmony and encouragement of the things that make you you, and enhancement of the wonderful things you've got going on, and the healing and shifts for the things that you have challenges with. So this is just a really magical time. So let's talk a little bit about birthdays and the pre-birthday funk. Okay, so when it's birthday time, right before it's birthday time, in the weeks before, the sun moves through the 12th house. And it's besides the sun moving through the 12th house, you all have a lot of energy moving through the 12th house. So the 12th house is definitely a highlight for all early, middle, and late degree placements this month. And it's really important to understand that as planets move through the 12th house, it can bring out riches and it can bring out fears. This is what I call the Harry Potter house. It's the house that is really, it's like an attic. You know, it's that dark place, and when all this focus comes to that place, which happens in the time before your birthday, or if you're watching for your moon or rising sign, the time before the sun crosses over that Taurus placement, this is happening for you as well. So all of you are grouped into this. It's like a spotlight in an attic where you see all the gross things, the fears, the addictions, challenges, difficult patterns, genetic memory, past life things, just like some nasty stuff. But then you also find that vase that your grandmother had kept that is worth a whole ton of money. It's like that. So you find riches within yourself, and sometimes the riches come from going through the challenges. What a lot of people tend to do is they feel this pre-birthday angst, and they either, like Tauruses, may try to work it away. Some people, it could be, you're trying to do an addiction, whatever your addiction is, you're trying to do that to keep the anxiety at bay. This is a very anxiety-bringing energy. But it's showing you the things that you don't want so that you can use your birthday wishes for what you do want. And you can use this rebirth energy to create your life in a whole new way and start new chapters. So it is very purposeful, and you really can find gold. It's not just about like facing your fears, although that does usually encompass a piece. It is also about finding riches within yourself that you bring out into the world and that you use to manifest the life that you want. So it's very exciting that way. Definitely check out my video. If you just search for Making Wishes Come True, Annie, you'll find my video on how to use your birthday wishes and make them most powerful, because when the sun in the sky comes back to the same point that it was at when you were born, that opens a portal of sun energy, and the sun relates to your desires, the things that you want. So that's where birthday wishes come from. This portal is open for your desires. The universe is more receptive to the things that you ask for at that time. So when you go through and really evaluate the darkness and clear out and really work with it and make gold out of lead, you can make the most of those birthday wishes in this power period that you're standing before. So there is that going on besides all this synastry of energy that I told you about. So I want to drop the charts in and show you the specifics about the things that I discussed. And then after that, you'll see me back on the screen to talk more about the general transits that you definitely need to know. Okay, so just a reminder of where you are in the Taurus spectrum. If your birthday is like April, you're April born, or your degree, if you're watching for your sun, moon, or rising, is between 0 and 9 degrees, that's early. The middle degree placements are around May 1st through 10th, or 10 to 19 degrees. And late degree placements, you are around May 11th through the rest of the sign, and 20 to 29 degrees. Now do note that those dates could toggle just a little bit depending on the day that the sun moved into your sign in the year you were born, because it's not actually always the same, and that's why this shifts a little bit. But the closest that you can get from my estimations is going to serve you well for understanding this better. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is birthday wishes. When the sun in the sky gets back to the place where it was when you were born, sun represents desires, what lights you up. Big portal is open for your wishes. So you want to maximize those. Sometimes the best way to maximize those is through diving into the darkness and not avoiding or trying to work away, or whatever your other addiction could be, away the anxiety that comes in from this focus. So see here for early, very full 12th house, middle, and late. 12th house, the attic, or the basement, or that dark place where when you put a spotlight on it, you're like, ah, yuck. But then you find some really cool things you lost, things you didn't know you had, things of value. It's definitely the Harry Potter placement where people figure out that their demons are inside of them. And that's the seed of empowerment. That is the opportunity that comes from this time of year. So when you evaluate these things that you don't want, you can put all of your energy into manifesting the things that you do want. Okay, so the next pieces have to do with all of these Taurus placements that we talked about. As each of the planets move into Taurus, they're going to bump up against your placements. Now let's just be clear about what we're talking about, because some of these are outer planets and we're not including those in our short-term discussion. So we're talking about the sun moving through Taurus. The new moon is going to be in the days around May 4th. So new moon in Taurus. Then Mercury is going to come in Taurus. Venus is going to come in Taurus. So you're going to have smooches from all of those energies. And each planet carries a different energy. So the sun brings vitality and warmth and excitement. Mercury brings information and inspiration. Venus can bring harmony and money and luck and fun. And money, right? Money and love. We love that. Boosts to self-esteem. Things gelling for you in wonderful ways. So that's all wonderful. Then we've got Neptune continuing to make its very long, very, very long movement through Pisces. But that's still a harmonious energy. It's a 60-degree angle, so that's sweet. We've got all of this Pluto, Saturn transiting South Node, all in angles that are the best in astrology, 120 degrees, most favorable. Those are really more affecting the very late middle degree placements and the early late degree placements. But kisses coming for those. And it's still, again, just the fact that the placements are there is harmonious to the sign of Taurus, regardless of your placement. So there's just a lot of support here. And even Mars, just for like the first part of the month, Mars will continue to be in Gemini, which is kind of a scattered, not really congruent with Taurus energy. But soon into the month, it moves into Cancer, which creates another beautiful 60-degree angle. Always remember about these 60-degree angles too is that I always see them as ingredients on a counter, you know? So like you come in, there's the pie ingredients on the counter. You know, I can't draw anything that looks like what it's supposed to be. There's an apple, there's the pan, there's the other stuff, the coconut oil. Of course, this is gluten-free. You have it on the counter. That's what these 60-degree angles tend to bring is possibilities. You have a lot of possibilities with these ingredients and all these other things, whatever they are. Okay, but if you don't do anything with them, then you'll be looking around saying, where's my pie? So you might have to actually do something with them. That's what a 60-degree angle wants from you. It can bring in this possibility, but you have to activate it. Okay, so those are the things that I most wanted to show you. Now let's look at the general transits. I'm going to come back on the screen and tell you about some more dates to note and some other things to know about the month that will really help you to have a more graceful experience and use the energies in the best way. So I'm calling the theme of May 2019 for all signs, conquer the obstacles and gain the rewards, because this month we've got all kinds of obstacles, but there's actually more sweet energy than there are challenging energies. And there are going to be things to get through, but you have a lot on your side for getting past them with flying colors. The factors that flip the switch towards action in April are still at play very much this month in May. So we have the first month in a long time without having a personal planet retrograde, either shadow period or the actual retrograde, as part of the equation. So in April, even though Mercury was not retrograde, the whole first half of April, the post-shadow period from Mercury was still in effect. Now here in May, we don't have Mercury, Venus, Mars, the personal planets at all retrograde, nor do we have any of their shadow periods for the transit. So we don't have that to impede progress. At the same time, there are multiple placements in very grounded Taurus, and Jupiter is still retrograde and Saturn is now going retrograde, and all of these factors can serve to balance ambitions, adding more of a streamlined approach. So you'll hear me talking about this theme for a while because there are multiple factors in the stars that are really telling us to get super efficient with our energy. So you'll have more opportunities this month to really get stuff done, but at the same time, there are challenges to overcome, and there is this sort of reevaluation of the things that you've brought out and checking in and strengthening to see what you need for future expansion. There are many great aspects in Gemini or with Mercury, which rules Gemini this month. So that's going to bring lots of communication, lots of movement, lots of busyness, brilliant social opportunities. We'll have advancement of writing and other creative projects, anything having to do with travel, upgrading communication devices and modes of transportation. All of those things are in the Mercury Gemini domain. So expect a lot of focus in those areas of life. And there are a lot of beautiful aspects that can help boost those efforts. At the same time, there are also a number of clashes with the energy. I'd say more good effects than challenging ones, but we still have to look out for them and you still will have to overcome them. So there could be some mini slowdowns or drama that come from those challenges. As with April, in May, there's also a hurriedness that goes along with a lot of these energies, and that is could lend itself to unnecessary injuries or accidents or wasting time or just not paying attention to things that can come from that distractedness. So definitely be extra aware and breathe and try to stay centered as you move your body and as you're communicating and as you're carrying through all of these things that want to come through this month. So Jupiter is still in retrograde, and this is one of the factors I referred to earlier. It's asking us to pull in a little bit and to carefully evaluate these next steps. So we want to conserve energy while making the most impact. And Jupiter was on an expansion spree for a while, and things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as it's been in retrograde, now it's a time to shore up the foundation for the future expansion. So the theme of creating systems that fix situations where you were spread too thin is going to continue this month. And also, as with April, the energy of fewer brilliantly placed efforts rather than a whole bunch of haphazard efforts the best that you can. Now, it's not going to be super easy to do that in some ways because we do have a lot of energy in Aries. We do have a lot of energy in Gemini, besides that grounded Taurus, which does kind of the glue that helps it all hold together. But it will be busy, it will be scattered, and there will be a lot going on. In general, there are a ton of awesome transits this month. And like I said, more sweet days than challenging ones, but for the beginning of the month and the end of the month, especially, like everything away from just like the exact middle of the month, pretty much, every time there's a sweet aspect, there's a super challenging one, and a lot of times the same exact day. And it's just kind of crazy. So that means that there will be obstacles to get through to gain the rewards, which is why I call the theme of the month that, expect some challenges. It's not going to be like you just walk up to the gates of the place that you're trying to go and you just walk in, It always reminds me of Paperboy, that game Paperboy, when like the guy's just trying to deliver his newspapers and there's like crazy people and dogs and stuff just like trying to get in his way, right? That's what life feels like sometimes. But you can maneuver around it and get the papers delivered this month for sure. But it's going to take work to get to your goals and consistency. So there's a beautiful flow of sweet transits between May 11th and May 18th. There are some challenging ones around the 11th and there are some challenging ones around the 18th. But all the time in between there, like right in the mid-month, is just sweet aspects, so many sweet aspects every day. So if you have to do something important and you need to have oomph without antagonism, your best time of the month to launch and try to push things through is the middle of the month, because that will be where you don't have this contradictory force at every moment like there is for the rest of the month. Okay, so if you want more details about what aspects are happening on what days and what can go along with that, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter, AnnieHelpsYou.com. And when you sign up for my free email newsletter, you also get, as a wonderful free gift, my entire 28-day virtual coaching package for free. So that will keep you on the list where you'll get these monthly write-ups a month ahead, where I give you the details and the overview of the month so you can see the days that have challenges and what you're working with there and the ones that are sweets if you're trying to plan ahead of time, as many people are. I'm going to hit just a couple of highlights, and then you can see the rest of the details at AnnieHelpsYou.com when you sign up for my free newsletter. Okay, so in the beginning of the month, the first couple of days, we've got sweet aspects and challenging ones just right next to each other. We've got the new moon on May 4th. That's the new moon in Taurus, so definitely make your new moon wishes, and you can see my blog about that for more details. If you just search for Making Powerful New Moon in Taurus Wishes, Annie, you will find it. But this has a beautiful aspect with Neptune on that day, so I expect some sweetness there sandwiched in between some of the challenges. Look out for overexertion and overcommitment in those days, like right there at the end of the week. Definitely take full advantage of those days between May 11th and May 18th for anything important, big steps, commitments, signing paperwork, launching things. They're just like so many beautiful things. I also love travel at that time. And really this whole month is amazing for travel. You just have to be really careful as you're doing it, and aware. Careful and awareful is what I say. Okay, let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to point out here. The full moon on May 18th. The full moon is at 27 degrees of Scorpio, and that also has a conjunction with Venus and Uranus. So this is really important. So let's just take this piece by piece. We've had multiple months in a row where we've had full moons that are centered around relationships, okay? Because we had 2 Libra full moons in a row, and now we have a Scorpio full moon. And the Libra and Scorpio are these relationship houses. So there may be some major drama at this time, or there could be wonderful breakthroughs within relationships or of any kind, or things coming to be revealed that were hidden before, or just sweet moments, a culmination of something sweet within a relationship. Of any kind. So fullness, drama, completion, breakthroughs, things like that in the areas of Scorpio. But the wild card here is this energy of Venus in Venus and Uranus, because whenever Uranus is involved, it's like things out of the blue, surprises, jostling, and it could be better for better or worse, So Venus rules love and money and self-esteem. So Uranus coming in here often can mean like conflict or fight or something surprise within a relationship that is a challenge. But sometimes it's like a marriage, proposal or something that comes out of the blue, and that's a culmination of this, relationship energy. So it could really be something sweet like that, but we just never know when Uranus is involved. So expect intensity. I always, we all have to live our lives and we have to work and do what we have to do, but if you can leave the full moon a little bit open so that if some challenges come up and you can be present for them, then you might be grateful for that. So, so try to be well rested. That's the other thing that I recommend when Uranus is involved, because if something comes out of the blue and you have to deal with it, at least if you're well rested and calm going into it, it will be easier for you to handle it in the most graceful way. In general, since the energy of Venus and Uranus are both in Taurus, this is, earth energy. This is like ground-breaking, ground-shaking energy. And sometimes it can be quite literally. Uranus in Taurus has already been very much associated with the waking up of the volcanoes over the last year. And, the other earth changes that come from that and earth effects that come from that, wild weather and things like that, that are related to the earth and the atmosphere. So, just kind of be aware at those times that there's more energy and more power, and just follow your intuition as far as where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So those are the things that are most on my mind for this month. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, get my Shine 28-day virtual coaching program for free, get these written version of these general reports in your inbox a month early. You can sign up for a live reading there. You can see more about my vocational courses that I have, including my astrology apprenticeship program, where I can teach you how to use astrology for your personal or professional purposes. And I have lots of other things on my website, like subliminal audios that help you to train your brain in the direction of things that you want. So you can see all that at anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely check out my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. If you are interested if you're a spiritual seeker and you want to align your energies with that of the divine and have the most easy, graceful life possible, this is your little friend. I made it in a nice portable size. It's a beautiful book on the inside and out for you to take with you and use the power of affirmation and prayer to transform your life and the world in positive ways. So you can see that at radicalprayerbook.com. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can go to my husband's website, iamhelios.com, iamhelios.com. He's got all kinds of goodies there. He does astrology readings and tarot readings. And if you'd like written horoscopes by me, plus other lifestyle blogs for natural living, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and see my written horoscopes for you for each sign a month early each month. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.